caucus or whatever.
That's why we care, you realize. Like, it's not that, like, we care about who wins. It's more just, like, it's a soap opera at the moment, this election.
And every time he gets more outrageous, more people vote for him or get behind him. And
it's fucked.
Just recently, we had those violent clashes between the protesters and the, I guess, the Bernie Brigade.
I feel like he's about to win in, like, the next few days. Like, there was I heard something on the radio this morning about a really important election that, so I don't know. It sounds like he's on the verge of victory. But, like, there's not, like, this is the weird part about this election, is there's no one, like, good.
Yeah, like
Bernie's got some great ideas, but
he's sort of the people's man.
He's the man of, like, the middle class. He's been fighting the good fight for a long time. But, like, people aren't gonna... He's not gonna get anything done if he wins. People will seem to forget that, like, there's a Senate to get through and shit.
Yeah.
He's not just... Or Congress, I think, is the...
The other thing is... The one interesting thing about Trump is that he's beholden to no one. Like,
yeah. It's all his own money. And
like, even Obama, like, had to raise funds and owed people favors. So the fact that, like, Trump could almost have, like... I think I read somewhere that, like, virtually no president in history has had that. They've all, like, needed to get in on a platform.
I know Bernie Sanders has had more... like sub $100 donations than like any other candidate in history.
Really?
I think so, yeah. Like he's so many of his like dollars for his campaign are just from punters. Aussie fucking punters that are from America and not Australian at all.
I'd like to read some more Trump quotes so we can get a full
picture. But real quickly, I want to point this out. We've got Donald Trump, who is a capitalist pig, for lack of a better word.
He sort of, I mean, capitalism...
No, but he's just like, he's literally a crazy man. Like, the things that are coming out of his mouth are unheard of in a caucus like this. Behind him, you've got Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, who are both just kind of crazy. One of them is a hectic religious nut.
Okay, which one?
I can't remember which one. I think it's Ted Cruz, who's probably the closest behind Trump. Mm-hmm. And then you've got Hillary Clinton, who's being investigated by I think it's the FBI or something for some shit.
She's on the other side, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying the entire election that's going down.
Yep.
So could be the first woman president, but she's also getting investigated for all these fucking emails she deleted. I was just doing housekeeping, so I deleted 10,000 emails.
Wow.
Whatever. You've got a Republican socialist in Bernie Sanders, who is a legend.
Yeah, I thought he was a...
Democratic socialist, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, yeah,
Democratic
he's not a
socialist.
Republican.
No, I didn't mean Republican. I was thinking of the Republic out of Star Wars. I got very confused.
Oh, like the Galactic Empire, sort of like Emperor Palpatine.
So, Democratic Socialist Bernie Sanders, who's for some reason saying we should raise taxes, which to me is odd. And I say we because some of you might not.
Us.
No, some of you might not know that I am actually a US citizen.
Govinda is, in fact,
I have a social
race
security
trader.
number.
He is not an Australian. He is sort of...
I have been in Australia since I was 3 months old, but I
still
hold the motherland close to home.
That's 3 months less than I've been here.
I was actually going to look in to see if I could vote.
On behalf of all of Australia...
Like an absentee vote or something from here.
On behalf of all of Australia, Govinda, I'd like to say, get out, mate, we're full.
That makes sense. You sound like a Trump supporter, actually.
Well, let's move right along.
You might have seen, if you want to look at the PS podcast Twitter, you'll see Kale as a Trump supporter. It's actually very funny.
We actually did find my doppelganger, ironically, at a Trump rally.
But I think the irony is that even the doppelganger we saw was ironically at a Trump rally.
No, he was there ironically.
Yeah, it's ironic that he was there ironically.
I hate you. Like, you're such a hipster and I want to punch you in the head. Like, but just like kidding, dude. Like, not...
Wait, but it was you that...
Yeah, but like, no.
And then you've got fucking... Oh, it's just crazy. It's crazy, this election. I don't know what's going to go on. Someone was saying that if Trump wins, whoever's going up against him will win. Like the general election, like the actual...
Because you just have to?
Because you cannot vote him in. It can't happen.
That's what they said about Hitler, dude. We'll get there.
I don't think they did. I think...
No, they did.
Really?
Yeah, like in the early...
he was going up against a big party and stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah, but then he sort of... there was like the beer house putsch, which was like... What was the putsch? It was sort of like when he started using political violence and people started to become afraid of him. And then he started to, like, really push the racism, which secretly a lot of people wanted. Like, they wanted to have these minorities out of the country. And, like, you look at Trump supporters, and it's there. Like, there's a lot of rednecks.
It's getting real dicey.
Can I continue? Quote, Donald Trump speaking about Senator John McCain, who is a military veteran. Quote, he's not a war hero. He is a war hero because he was captured. I like people who weren't captured. End quote. That's a good one. That's a fellow Republican he's speaking about there. I've got another one when he was speaking about Megyn Kelly, Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly, during a CNN interview. Quote, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her, whatever. End quote. Oh my that was on August 7th, 2015, a day after she asked him during the first Republican presidential debate about disparaging comments he'd made about women. Trump later explained that he was referring to Kelly's nose with his bloodline, but didn't finish saying the thought.
Whatever. This is brings me back to something I heard really early in his campaign, and he was at some talk, and a woman pops up and starts asking him about these weird disparaging remarks about women that he's been saying. And this is when I knew the lunacy was really setting in, because she kind of blasted him for a little bit about this, and he just stands up, walks up to the mic and goes, "Just Rosie O'Donnell," and then turns around and walks away, and the crowd fucking goes wild.
Yeah, because he got into like a Twitter.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Donald Trump speaking about 9/11, quote, I watched when the World Trade Center came tumbling down, and I watched in Jersey City, New Jersey, where thousands and thousands of people were cheering as that building was coming down. Thousands of people were cheering. Trump made that assertion at a rally in Birmingham, Alaska on November 21st, 2015. He said specifically that, quote, thousands of Muslims were cheering, end quote. That claim has since been debunked.
Like that debunked as in that did not happen.
Yeah,
and
like he's just like
fucking psycho. What a sociopath!
It's just
this
one. I like this one. This is my personal favorite.
It's funny because like you did ruin an episode once with how to compare comparing America to the Roman Empire.
Yeah,
and then you said last night like it'd almost be cool to see him get in just to watch the Roman Empire fall in our era.
This is another like Caligula or a Nero. Like this is an insane man at the head of the world's only superpower with virtually unlimited power, and he could just do whatever he wants. Quote. I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot people and I wouldn't lose voters, Trump said at a rally in Iowa, pointing his finger at the crowd like he was shooting a handgun as he expressed his confidence that he would remain atop the Republican field. When and where? CU Center, Iowa on January 23rd, 2016.
All right, so let's do a little callback to one of the episodes where I was saying, what would you do if you were like the only power in the world, like the super... You rule the ruler of the world, so to speak.
Was that episode 1?
I would find all registered Republicans who have voted for Donald Trump and euthanize them.
That's funny. Quote, Donald Trump said something similar. Quote, in the Middle East, we have people chopping the heads off Christians. We have people chopping the heads off many other people. We have things that we have never seen before. As a group, we have never seen before what's happening right now. The medieval times, I mean, we studied medieval times. Not since medieval times have people seen what's going on. I would bring back waterboarding, and I'd bring back a hell of a lot worse than waterboarding. End quote. He doesn't really have a way with words. So that's fun.
I just, if someone could explain to me how this is happening.
He's controversial, and he's telling some people, well, here we go. I've got a few comparisons between Adolf Hitler's sort of social platforms and some of Donald Trump's. I won't go into it because they're really, really long and involved. They're actually very well thought out.
If you can just skim them.
The Cliff Notes. He blames a specific group of immigrants for all of his country's problems, and then promises to eliminate them from our society.
He'll build a wall. He's the best at building walls, apparently.
Number 1 on his immigration policy. A nation without borders is not a nation. There must be a wall across the southern border. Furthermore, he wants the Mexicans to pay for it. Which is very similar to, like, when the Romans would go in and lay waste to a province and then charge them for it. Like, just...
You know, owe us money for this.
There's one of my favorite quotes about the Roman Empire. The Romans would make a desert and call it peace. So you just burn everything down.
You can't fight me if you got nothing left.
That's right.
Peace is attained.
That's right. What do we got? He'll sell his hate as hope for the poorest citizens in this country. Which, I guess...
That was Hitler. I can't tell anymore. They were just blurry.
Oh, no, these are just both of them.
Oh, yeah,
This is cool. Sort of, yeah. I mean, Germany was in a far worse position than America is now. Both were in, like, extreme depression. Like, there's stories of, like, influential, like, wealthy Germans needing to literally wheel a truckload of
money for a loaf of bread.
Yeah, like a barrel full, sorry. And America's not quite in that situation, but it's great.
They just have the debt. They have the crippling debt that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year.
Trillions and trillions.
I'd have to say it's probably got a lot to do with spending 2/3 of your economy on your military for no reason. But that's just... Who am I to know?
Who are you?
Why wouldn't you spend it on, like, fixing shit?
He's got a few pretty radical thoughts on prisons.
What are they? I feel like I'll agree with them.
Well, you know, like, Bernie's sort of making, like, the big point that, like, prisons are just such a massive drain on their economy. Like, there's what is it? It's like 1 in 100 Americans are incarcerated.
They've got more people in prison than any other country in the world.
Put together.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Oh, wait, no, is it put together?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes.
Can you verify this?
I can.
Don't do it. We have no time. Let's just say yes. That's hectic, though. It's crazy.
They say, like Hitler, not taking Donald Trump seriously just makes him more dangerous. Because people think he's a joke, and I guess he is, but it doesn't mean that he's not in a position...
Keeping in mind that, like, he's only winning a Republican vote of registered Republicans.
That's it.
So, I feel like there's still hope. Like, I feel like when he's actually out in the wild, the people who will vote will not vote for him.
Here you go. Number 1 point. He used to keep a copy of Hitler's sequel to Mein Kampf by his bed. In a 1990 interview with Vanity Fair, Ivana Trump, Donald Trump's ex-wife, mentioned that at least one point her husband used to keep a book filled with Hitler's speeches by his bedside. Just the crazy ramblings of a scorned ex-wife, yeah? Nope, Trump actually confirmed it. Don't worry though, because Trump thought the guy who gave him the book was a Jew. The guy later confirmed that he wasn't. So it's not weird that either of them own a fucking copy of Hitler's sequel to Mein Kampf.
Oh man, he's been studying for this campaign for a while.
For a long time, a very long time.
This is a worrisome time.
It's
I can't see him winning in actual election time.
That's what they said about George Bush. They're like, no,
yeah, but there was
win.
some really shady shit around George Bush's election, votes going missing and stuff. So
that could happen again. I mean, why couldn't it?
I don't know.
He won. Didn't George Bush Jr. win 2 years running?
Oh, he won 2 terms. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like fuck. Donald Trump's in.
Like it's almost all we knew in our lifetime was like we got a bit of Bill Clinton at the tail end of.
He was all right. I mean, he got a sneaky little blowjay.
He got a little blowjay, shoved a little cigar somewhere. Probably shouldn't have been. Let's be honest. And when he said cigar, that was a euphemism for his dick.
I was too young to understand that at the time.
No, I got the gist of it. I like that Hillary Clinton just sucked it up and was like, okay, we're still together.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's all right.
At that point,
you were under some stress, I guess. You needed to relieve it, and I wasn't going to offer anything to you.
Let's be honest, that part of our relationship ended decades ago.
I watch House of Cards, and I like to think their relationship's very similar to that, but a bit more kooky, a bit more zany.
A little more fun.
Like, no love, really, but just, we got to do what we got to do to get what we got to get. And he did what he got to do.
You got to get it done, you know? Okay, let's be honest, though. If you're the fucking, what is it, POTUS.
President of the United States.
Sitting in the Oval Office. You got a hot, young secretary?
Yep. I think she was an intern.
She's making advances? What are you going to say, no? No, you're the fucking god.
Let's be honest here. Do you really think she was making advances on the president? I do not think so.
I thought that was the case.
No,
I thought
that's probably what they they might have slurred it that way, but it was definitely creepy Bill Clinton being like, Hey, honey, come.
I love that he's sort of like
come sit on my lap.
He's sort of like so charming.
Yeah,
but
everyone loves him
forgiven
still.
it. Yeah, like
he had an affair while